Miss South Africa 2025. What a wow, my darling. Let's talk about it. Hi, guys, I'm Libba Lion, the voice of marketing and your friend in all things marketing, brand building, and sometimes pop culture. Now, you guys have been tagging me in Miss South Africa commentary. So, here is my 2 cents on what's actually going on there. For those of you who don't know, Miss South Africa 2025 was hosted this past weekend, in Pretoria at Sunbet Arena. And they did things a bit differently because they chose two hosts who you wouldn't regularly see on that stage because South Africa has a tendency of working with the same talent on the same projects over and over again. And the two hosts who were chosen were Nomalanga Shozi and Pamela Mdanga. Both women are really great at their craft and they have emceed different events across industries, different styles. So they really do have range. And I think they're qualified to MC or host an event as large and as significant as Miss South Africa. Now, South Africans are in heavy and heated debates about whether or not they were the right choice. Because a lot of people are saying, well, after watching Miss South Africa, we didn't actually think the ladies carried the show well, especially Nomalanga. And to that, I have to say, you know what? A lot of us don't understand what goes behind the craft. And so we judge things based on face value and based off of bias. Previous Miss South Africa contests have had personalities with very strong brands that have incredibly strong popularity. And so when those people like a Bonang Mateba came on the stage, it was a Bonang Mateba show. And I mean that in the best way possible. She built such a strong brand for herself that by the time she got onto the Miss South Africa stage, people were actually excited to see her and adjust to her presenting style. She was able to make it her own. Now, Nomalanga and Pam both have incredibly strong brands, but they're not as strong as Bonang's. And so they had to come into Miss South Africa and work with the terms and conditions and the rigid structure that Miss South Africa tends to have. And we know that society will compare people, and that's okay. Comparison is normal, but we have to understand the context, what's actually happening on that stage. So Bonang is great, but Bonang does Miss South Africa the Bonang way. We cannot expect everybody else to do it the Bonang way. They have to do it their own way. And what people also don't understand about being an MC, and I'm speaking as a professional, I MC large conferences many times in the year, and it's not what it looks like. We make it look easier than what it is. What happens is you usually have two earpieces and you'll hear different voices speaking to you as you read the teleprompter and you're looking at the camera. It's a balancing act. What people will also not tell you is that for a lot of us as MCs, and I say this as somebody who's MC'd 5-day conferences, 3-day conferences, sometimes you'll even get script changes 20 minutes before you get up on stage, right? It really is a jungle. It's amazing. We understand as MCs, moderators, etc., that changes can happen, but we also have to understand as consumers or audience members that what you're seeing on stage is absolute brilliance because that person is juggling so much and they're still able to make it seem natural, or they're able to go with the flow and actually make the program happen. And it's very easy for things to go wrong. Sometimes the teleprompter goes faster than it's supposed to, sometimes it goes slower, sometimes it comes up and shows the wrong thing and you have to improvise. A lot goes on. On top of that, if you're new to that kind of stage and you don't have the kind of brand presence and maybe networks that a Bonang would have, you don't have as much power in terms of the decisions that you can make with the team in how you move and how you do things. So you have to adapt to the entire space. So what you're seeing the ladies produce as the final product really is a work of brilliance. It is not easy and it's not something the average person can do. It's not something the average speaker can do. Trust me, it looks easy. It's easy to comment on because they are that good. What Pamela Mtanga is doing is not easy. Just because she's not there within the audience, it doesn't mean that what she's doing is easy. She just knew how to make it look good. And there's a bit more control in that, but she's still doing something that's relatively hard to do. And Nomalanga had a very big show to carry, and I think she carried it very well. She tried to make it her own and not try to be Bonang 2.0, which is commendable. That's what you do when you are a speaker MC with their own voice and own personality. So I think the critique we're seeing about both ladies is extremely harsh, right? And we cannot say Pamela would have been better in the front, whoever at the back. We don't know, right? Because we don't know how they would behave in different settings. We haven't seen that. I think both ladies carried both their designations really well, and they did it in couture, darling. It's not easy to be there in a tight dress that doesn't move very well, and you have to make it look elegant and poised whilst you're reading, but you're trying to make it look natural. They're balancing a lot of things. And when it comes to the winners, I don't want to go into the nitty gritties of should it have been Kawe or Luyanda. The winner is the winner, and they are deserving. Both ladies gave us a show, and they are both winners in my eyes. And I think Kawe, and I know I'm saying this incorrectly, my apologies, she's going to reign with perfection. She's got a beautiful aura. She's a beautiful human being. And she seems genuine and authentic. And I think that matters. And Luyanda is a powerhouse. She's going to win in anything she does in life. And I think South Africans are ready to support her. So I hope she watches my content about building a personal brand so she can really leverage off of the attention and favor and love that she's getting from South Africans. Miss South Africa is an opportunity for us to unite as a country, to celebrate the beauty in this country and the causes we want to champion. I don't think us fighting, putting people down works, especially for a show like this. It doesn't make any sense. It was beautifully done, well done to everybody involved.